You've seen these on Fear Factor where people are like trembling and they're eating. They're like, oh my God. Just talk to some Chinese person for the first time trying a really strong French cheese. Oh, what is this? Hi everybody, I'm Bill from The Walks of Life, and today I'm gonna dispel some myths and reveal some truths on Chinese preserved eggs, also known as 1,000-year-old eggs, century eggs, or just black eggs. Pi dan, or pei dan in Cantonese. I grew up with these. Either you like it or you don't. If the first time you tried this egg and you just cracked one of these babies open and take a honkin' bite out of it, you're probably not gonna like it. If you know how to prepare them and they're presented correctly, there's a reason why people love these eggs. And usually these, by the way, are duck eggs because the duck eggs are higher in fat content, especially the yolk. They roll them in a mixture of ash, quicklime, rice hulls, salt, put them all together. And when I was a kid, I remember this black sort of ash on them, and they were put all in this big ceramic pot. And we would go into the Chinese store in Chinatown, take off the wooden cover, put it in a plastic bag, and we'd take it home, and then you'd peel off that outer ash, crack the egg, wash it, and you'd prepare it that way. It has its own, like a little bit of ammoniated taste, but presented the right way, pickled ginger, or put them in the tofu, put them in the spices, all delicious. So I'm gonna show you how to peel and cut these, and I'm gonna make a simple cold tofu dish that we make often. And you can be the judge, and then maybe you'll give these 1,000-year-old eggs a try. So there's tons of brands of these. They come in these individually wrapped plastic packages. We say in the recipe 1 to 2 century eggs. But for us, I love these things, and I'm gonna make it with this tofu. I sometimes put 3 eggs in, because I only have 5 of these eggs left, and I actually wanna make my pepper with 1,000-year-old eggs in another day. I'm gonna put 2 in this, and I'm gonna save 3 for next time. So I'm just gonna take the knife and break the vacuum.
It's raw, right? They start with raw eggs,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And then it kind of ends up
just like salted duck eggs. It changes the property. The lime and the ash, pH very high. These get a little gelatinous, so this is the way I do it. I just crack them a little bit like that, roll them around, and then I just peel it. Now you could do this under running water because we are going to give this a rinse. It's just like peeling a hard-boiled egg, but these are much softer now. You can see it's a little jiggly. And it does smell a little ammoniated. So now that we've peeled them, cleaned up a little bit, I'm gonna give them a quick rinse under the sink. And they're ready to go. Now, something that really helps with this is if you wet your knife, and you might even wanna have some water nearby. You're just gonna cut this like this, and I know that Sarah had used a piece of dental floss. Now see this? This is all stuck to it. You can see it doesn't look that appetizing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these into wedges. In the old days, my guess is that they probably put this into the refrigerator to make them cold so that they would cut easier. That's what I would do if I had to do that. Today, with the tofu recipe, you can actually make these into smaller pieces. I'm just gonna cut it and leave it at this. So now that I've cut one wedge here, this knife has become a little bit loaded up, so it's gonna stick, so I'm gonna give it a wash first. Okay. So now I'm just gonna cut this into wedges again, and look at that, that's much better. Oh, this is a good time to actually do an anatomy of this. This is the yolk over here, this dark part, very soft, and this is where a lot of this flavor is. And then this is a little bit rubbery. We're not only experiencing a flavor, but a textural thing here, which is really super important in Chinese food. So I'm gonna continue cutting it, and now we're ready to prepare the tofu. So some of the dishes that you can make with this are liangban tofu, which is basically a cold tofu dish. Another one that we recently published is a century egg with peppers, which we used to get all the time at this Hunan Chinese restaurant. But the earliest time that I've ever seen this was when it was cut into wedges and served with pickled ginger on a cold plate, hardcore. If you've ever tried it like that for the first time, I gotta say it's tough to like. And of course, the last one that I almost forgot, but it's probably the most common, is at dim sum or at a congee place where you can get congee with 1,000-year-old egg and pork, or pei dan sao you zhou, which is a very Cantonese favorite. and the ladies are walking around with a dish. Peidan soyoto, peidan soyoto, which means century egg porridge. The kanji's good, the pork is good, and very flavorful. And then you'll get a little piece of the white piece of the egg or the yolk. You get a nice little saltiness to it. It's kind of like when you're eating a salad, or if you're eating something and you get a little bite of cheese or like a little brie or something, you get this burst of saltiness and you're not sure what it is, but it's not bad. You know, when Judy first came to America, she tried a piece of cheese, she did not like it. And now she's eating all kinds of goat cheese and brie cheese and everything. So you develop a taste for these things over time. And the same is gonna be true for a 1,000-year-old egg. I've made this dish so many times, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. I just take out the tofu, dump everything in here, mix it all up, and just serve it. And I pour out the water of this tofu. This is firm tofu. You can also use soft tofu or silken tofu. Silken tofu is super, super soft, and I think the recipe calls for silken tofu, but I kind of like this, firm tofu.
Do you?
Yes, I like it better because it's less watery and you have more of a texture. But what I will do, so we don't have to do too much, is I will cut this into cubes. I could have done this also inside the tofu container. Next, what I'm just gonna do is add sugar, about a tablespoon of doubanjiang. This is the good doubanjiang. This has like chunks in it versus like the smooth stuff, which has been processed more. It's about a tablespoon, sometimes I'll add more. Give it a good amount. White pepper, quarter teaspoon maybe. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of sesame oil. Hey, you like sesame oil? I do. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Soy sauce, it's about a tablespoon. It's probably a little bit more than a tablespoon there, but you know, tofu doesn't have a lot of flavor in it and it needs it. So now I've got this nice trio, fresh raw garlic here, chopped scallion, chopped cilantro. The garlic is absolutely key. I'm just gonna pour that in. I'll just mash this up now. And you see the soy sauce at the bottom. As you mash up this tofu, it'll absorb all the flavors. So this looks like to me, it needs a little bit more oil. I'm gonna put a little bit more sesame oil in here. And you just work this in. That looks pretty good. So look at this, it's a little red. I actually think it needs a little bit more soy sauce, but I'm gonna try this first. You can add oyster sauce if you want to. It's gonna make it even tastier.
You think?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna add the star ingredient, the 1,000-year-old egg. And believe it or not, these 1,000-year-old eggs actually, even though there's salt in these eggs when they make them, they're not salty and they need salt. Now this is where you make a choice and you say, hey, do I wanna keep these big chunks or do I wanna cut them? These wedges are pretty small in size, but you know, for those who are a little bit gun shy,
I don't like big pieces.
you don't like big pieces?
No.
Well, good. Then I'm going to chop these into little chunks. And now normally with the silken tofu, this would be a lot wetter. With this firm tofu, it's more dry like this. Totally up to you. I kind of like firm tofu. I think Judy does too. And you know what? I think I would like to put a little bit more scallion. We called for 2 tablespoons. And this is the beauty of this, everyone. This is one of those dishes where you're going to mix. You can add stuff. In fact, I think it needs a little bit of sugar. And at this point, since it's already mixed, I need to spread it around to balance the saltiness of the doubanjiang.
You think it needs more scallion?
I think I'm gonna put a little bit more scallion because I like it. It makes it nice and fresh. Hey, this scallion just appeared out of nowhere. Thank you, Kaitlin. And I actually added a little bit more garlic already to this than the recipe called for. I think the recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic and I added 3. And maybe you just serve it like that and we'll mix it at the table. Like sesame oil?
Don't put too much.
Liangpan tofu with 1,000-year-old egg. In the summertime, we eat this as a side dish with just some rice. You might cook up a vegetable or if you have a meat or something, or even like a smashed cucumber salad. Let's give this a taste. All of these flavors together. And in the back, you have this preserved egg flavor. I can't even explain it, what it's like. Can you imagine if you had some brie with some salad in the back, or you had some honey and nuts or whatever, it marries together really well? That's your century egg. You want to try it for the first time? Just add 1 egg and make it into really small pieces. You'll get a little piece along with a lot of tofu and spices and the scallion and the garlic. Give it a shot. If you like this recipe or if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. And for more recipes like this and others, visit us on thewalksoflife.com. It smells like a perm.
Like a what? A perm?
Here.
I don't need to smell.
Here, smell, see, it's like it's perm. It's like the durian. You ever see the durian with the cat videos?
No.
Oh my God, you've never seen that? You gotta look that up.